Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis, and this is going to be kind of a public service announcement. Some of you may know about this, some of you may not, but between pop-ups and twabs and, you know, other things, there's a lot of information that gets missed by everybody. So if you know about this already, totally fine, but if not, I wanted to make people aware. Between now and the end of the expansion year, so before Lightfall, basically, up until the 27th, because we do have 24 hours of downtime, FYI, servers will go down 9 a.m. Pacific time on the 27th. Lightfall comes out 9 a.m. on the 28th. Just keep in mind, we do have 24 hours of downtime. So we got about 3 weeks from now until then. So what I want to tell you guys is most of your vendors in the Helm, or basically all of them, have some nodule on your upgrade chart that's going to look like this. First time you focus a weapon, each week it will roll with DeepSight Resonance. It's at the war table, it's at the crown, it's at, you know, the exo frame, and it's at here. Now, what changed is the fact that you can do this every day. That's a new one. Now, this is the first time we have had craftable weapons. You know, your ability to get craftable weapons from Witch Queen in and of itself, probably not going to change. Wellspring technically will still be there with rotating weapons, and of course you get some from the story as well. But the seasonal craftable weapons, those are not going to be hanging around, and I think this gives a little more weight to that. Now, what do I mean? Well, last year, when we went from the year of Beyond Light to the year of Witch Queen, everything that was in the Helm basically got wiped. Now, the war table technically stayed as, you know, a piece of architecture in the front, but a different vendor used it. But you've got Catch Crash, you've got Expeditions, Psyops Battlegrounds, Heist Battlegrounds. On the Moon, you've got Containment and Sever. All of that stuff is going away when Lightfall launches. The main reason they do that is because they kind of clean slate the Helm, and they use the Helm as their seasonal vendors. Like at the end of Beyond Light, this was the room that held all of the Season of the Lost stuff with the big crystal and Marasov and all that stuff. Now we're sitting here looking at Rasputin. And same thing happened over on the left. Over on the left, it was Season of the Splicer with Mithrax and all that stuff that we did previously, and now we have the big giant crown in there. And basically, at the start of Witch Queen, all the doors shut and we start over. Now, I don't know what which one's going to be active at the start of the season again. Possibly the war table, because, you know, big giant expansions tend to have large stuff going on. So we may come back here, but this little hanging Psyops chandelier probably going to be gone. The war table is probably going to have a new seasonal artifact. You've got different upgrades that you're going to be going through, and it's all going to start over. But that also means I don't know how you're going to be able to get to these. The only solar waveframe grenade launcher. Got one of those? Crafted, possibly? Probably not. One of the rare craftable void bows. A great PvP pulse rifle. Sorry, great PvP pulse rifle? Wrong weapon. I don't know how those are going to work. Now, they still possibly will be DeepSight weapons that drop in the world, and they could be some of those. But if you're trying to get a craftable weapon from the previous year and you have to hope a random world drop is also a DeepSight drop, that is not going to be something you acquire quickly. So between now and the end of the expansion year, basically the end of the season as well, you've got 3 weeks. And if you want, every single day, you could go to every one of the 4 vendors and, you know, do whatever activity it takes. If you go to the Crown of Sorrow, or the Crown of Sorrow, that's totally different thing. If you go to the Crown and you need, you know, 27 of the Umbral energy, so you got to run 3 Nightmare Containments, you run the 3 Nightmare Containments and you craft. You go to the War Table, you need some Psyops Battlegrounds, so you've got some Umbral energy from there. Go run Psyops Battlegrounds a couple times, pull one weapon that's deep side over there. Come over here to Seraph. You can still do that. Run those activities, whatever, 2 or 3 of the Heist Battlegrounds, pull your deep sight, and then start over and do the same thing on the next day. That's the idea. You may not be able to have the time to literally pull, you know, weapons from every single vendor, but you could. But at a minimum, you have 20 days. So even if you just focus on, like, you have time to run, you know, I have time to work towards my Callus mini tool because I really want that. Okay, so I ran my 3 activities in the Castellum. I got my 3 Nightmare Containments done. I got my 27, pulled my deep sight, come back the next day, do the same thing. You do that 5 days, you've got a weapon. You don't have to wait 5 weeks to try and pull 1 frame. It is 5 days, and all of the vendors work the same way. So if you've got any craftable weapons that you think you want to get and you haven't previously acquired, now is definitely the time. If you're coming into the season late or coming into this year late and you've got some catching up to do, now is that time. And there are some good ones. I mean, as I pointed out, the ones at the war table already, those are probably the ones I would go for there. Here at the star chart, pretty obvious ones. You've got a scout rifle with Volt Shot. Brigand's Law basically got replaced by H.E.L.M SMG. You've got a linear fusion rifle that is not going to be hurt by Vice Stinger, so you'll still have precision frame. You can still get Jolt or Volt Shot on that one. Okay, machine gun, but not my favorite there. If you come down in here, you've got the option to go after Austringer, great PvP hand cannon. You've got the option to go after the Callus mini tool. You've got Drang if you enjoy your sidearms. There's quite a few down here, so I do want to go and point them out. You've got the only Arc Glaive that's legendary, and it's craftable. Bump in the Night, solid chill clip DPS kind of option if you want one of those. An Arc Trace Rifle, not a lot of those running around. And as I said, Drang and Austringer for PvP, Callus Mini Tool kind of a must for PvE. And then, as I said, Peace of Mind up front, Explosive Personality for Waveframe Solar. Those are both good. An Arc Bow under your skin. Me, I love my bows, so having a craftable bow is really nice. And finally here at Seraph, if I haven't said it before, I'll say it again. The H.E.L.M SMG has got to be one of your #1 priorities to get. If you do not have this weapon crafted yet, please make sure you get it. It is really, really important to have. I don't really care too much about the other H.E.L.M SMGs. Maybe you do if you need a sniper, you know, in an energy slot. But you've got Retrofit Escapade, solid machine gun, getting a 10% buff. Probably going to have some more ammo in it as well. Not as much as some, but still going to have a lot of ammo. And then you've got Target Lock, 4 times the charm. Another craftable bow. Disparity is a great pulse rifle in PvP. Solar Glaive. Fire and Forget. Yes, it's getting kind of the double whammy of 15% on linears, and it's viced, but it's still a, you know, aggressive 3-burst linear fusion rifle. Those are still reasonable. You've got a lot of weapons that you can go after, and the main reason I'm, again, making this is because I don't know how you're going to get them in the future. Now, if they just throw another kiosk over here on the wall, and it's archive craftable, like, or DeepSight weapons, and you can maybe buy, like, one a week or one a day with some currency or shards or something, maybe that's a thing that they do. I don't know how they're going to handle that because they haven't told us. This is our first year with crafting, and this entire area of vendors and DeepSight weapons is about to get, like, basically wiped out to make room for the next year. So until we know how they're going to handle all of these other crafted weapons, if they just go into the world loot pool and you have to hope for one to drop, it's going to take a minute. So that's kind of why. You have no idea what the randomness is going to be like, if there's going to be a vendor, if it's going to be random, if it's going to be some path to go after, I don't know. But right now, you have 3 weeks, 20 days and some hours, basically, as this video is coming out, to get yourself as many weapons as possible. Now, if you're only missing like 1 or 2, you know, do the 3 activities you need, 2 or 3 activities for whatever season it is a day, and don't burn yourself out and, you know, knock out the last couple that you were missing. But if you hadn't got many, haven't got all of them, missed a couple, unlucky, whatever it may be, now is your time. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like below, leave a comment if you've got questions, if you're wondering about priorities of like, hey, I've got enough time to probably go for like these couple, which one should it be? Throw that in the comments. If I don't answer, somebody probably will. But don't miss this opportunity because I honestly don't know how they're going to handle it in the future. And until we get a TWAB or something from Bungie to confirm where all these craftable weapons are going, now's your time to make up for them. If you guys want to find me on stream on Twitch today, it's going to be probably working on more Dead Space. Tomorrow we will be streaming in the morning because we get the Strand trailer. So I don't know how much they're going to show, but we'll be breaking that down frame by frame in there. If I don't finish Dead Space, we'll probably get a little more of that tomorrow after we kind of get done with the Destiny stuff. And again, we're counting down the time until Lightfall, so if you enjoy the content, hit that like button, and then hit that subscribe button and the alert bell, because I have a lot of guides, loadouts, missions, so many videos to make for you guys. Don't miss them, so I will hope to see you soon, and have a great one.